Do y'all ever get so tired of everything that you just want to scream into the void? No? Just me? Awesome. Your girl has been having a day, or a week, or really a month. It's been something. But before I tell you why, I should probably tell you who the heck I am, since I have had some extra subscribers lately. So first of all, thank you guys. And secondly, if you haven't done so yet, please make sure to become one of the subscribers down below. For those of you guys who are new, welcome. My name's Heather. I am a baker turned physical therapy student, which is currently killing me, a cat enthusiast, and a woman who is going on an adventure to lose 100 pounds. And it's kind of making me crazy. It's just one of those times. So for those of you guys who have gone on a weight loss journey, you know that for the most part, it is not just a straight downhill journey where you're like, boom, you're at your weight loss goal and you're excited about it. It's more of whoop, 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 and hopefully the whoop goes lower gradually over time. With where I'm at, because I know I have not updated you guys with my weight loss in a while. Right now, I am floating back and forth between 213 and 214 pounds. I started trying to get healthy in January of 2020. I know, COVID, picked a great time to start that. But I started at 271 pounds. I was completely miserable physically. I was completely exhausted. My body was not happy with how I was treating it. And what I've done is basically make small changes bit by bit, and I've shared everything that I've learned with you guys every step of the way. So all of that is previous videos, make sure you check them out. Where I'm at right now is pretty much a point of frustration. So in the first, I'd say 14 months, I lost 50 pounds, and that was amazing, and I'm still kind of shocked about it. I'm still finding things in my closet that are too big, and I'm like, how is this too big? Like, this used to be too small. I feel like I haven't gotten used to my new size yet, but by the same token, I had hit that 50-pound weight loss mark last February. It's April, and I'm down 57 pounds. I didn't expect that it would take me that stinking long to get down 57 pounds, and it's kind of driving me crazy. I have still been consistently changing my habits and making things better. My biggest problem is consistency. A lot of that has to do with the fact that I'm in a grad school program for healthcare that is completely bananas and also nowhere near me, so I spend a ton of time in the car trying to get there, trying to get back, and cussing out some other cars because your girl has road rage. It's not great. I tend to do really well for a while, and then if there's a little bit of a plateau, I get frustrated and I feel like I'm never, ever, ever gonna get past what it was. It happened to me when I hit 218, it happened to me when I hit 216, and now it's happening again at 214. Every 2 pounds, I'm basically having a war with myself. And it's kind of exhausting. What it honestly feels like is that I'm putting in insane amounts of effort and energy just to not gain weight. When what I wanna see is that all my effort goes towards something and the scale starts moving downwards. I know that logically, I might not be at the best point in my life for that to work out very well, just because there are only so many hours in the day, and sometimes I don't have time to plan ahead. And I don't mean that as an excuse, I just mean that as it's the truth. I'm in a high stress situation, and I'm still trying to learn better habits, and it can be kind of hard to do so when you're in the middle of chaos. And I kind of just wanted to talk to you guys about something that happened on the way home today. So I took my first final, there are 5 left, God help me. Took my first final today, got that out of the way. Thank the Lord that actually went well. Even though I was relieved it was done when I got back in my car to drive home, I was still really frustrated. Being in a healthcare program is a lot. While I am incredibly grateful to have been accepted into this program and grateful the fact that I am almost in the last year, sometimes it feels like this program has taken me hostage and I have nothing. And it's exhausting. Mental health is something that most of us in these programs struggle with a lot because you give so much to them that on some days it feels like you have nothing left. And that definitely applies for weight loss. When I spend all of my time focusing on school, I absolutely cannot focus sometimes on weight loss. It's all I can do to just not binge. And it's the other way too. If I am like on it with my diet, then school tends to like kind of get put on the back burner because we're only human, we can only do so much at once. Which brings me back to today. So I was done with my first final, huzzah. I was driving home and I just got kind of fed up, overwhelmed, burned out. It was a lot all at once. This is pretty normal for the end of the semester, but that does not make it any easier. So I was driving home and the oh so familiar urge to binge hits, because even though I have done cognitive behavioral therapy for this for over a year, sometimes it just is hard to use the tools that I've been given to get past urges, and all I want to do is binge, even though I know logically that me binging on that food isn't gonna actually make me feel any better. It's gonna make me feel worse. It's still a battle to not just cave and do it. So what I'm about to explain is basically the reason why I'm not losing as much as I would like to be losing, or in some cases just maintaining. When I start to lose weight, I get really, really excited. But for me, the big number on the scale was 216. Every time I got close to 216, I would be so excited. I was like, yes, I'm finally seeing the number on the stupid scale move. Like, my effort is actually for something. It's not for nothing. Side note, it is never for nothing, because you're making habits that are healthy to change your life, but it's very easy to get stuck on that scale, which I got stuck, so stuck. I would fixate on that number on the scale, and I noticed a habit. I would basically be like, I'm never gonna get under it anyways, and then sabotage myself with a binge. And once I finally got past 216, the same thing started happening for 214 because the scale just wasn't moving. So I got in my own head and I was like, oh, whatever, I'm never gonna be able to get past it anyways. I might as well have 400,000 donuts. Or, 4, but still, that's a lot. So I'm driving home and all of this crap is playing in my head, and I have an hour and 15-minute drive minimum. On the way home, right towards the end of my trip, I pass a Dunkin' Donuts with a drive-thru. And if y'all have seen my videos, or you deal with it yourself, you know that drive-thrus are my struggle, because when you have an impulse that you want to satisfy like that, those are kind of ideal because it happens in 2 seconds and you swipe the card and then you got a buffet. I did not want to cave on that, but every single day, that is my temptation. It's spit on myself, so sexy. Every single day, especially when I'm stressed, knowing that that drive-thru is there, it's at the end of my trip, that temptation is so hard for me to get past. And like I talked about in my previous videos, to some extent, you can outweight your impulses. You can be like, no, I'm just gonna distract myself for 10 minutes and then we'll revisit and see if I'm still craving it. So I'm using every freaking tool in my little tool bag of cognitive behavioral therapy. I'm doing self-talk. I'm like, no, hi Simba. He's headbutting my leg. Hi, come here. There we go. Basically, I'm using all the tools that I can to try to get past this stinking impulse. And I'm reminding myself that I know I'm at the point of weight loss where I tend to sabotage myself. I'm reminding myself that no matter what I eat from that restaurant, 1, I don't have the budget for it right now because student life, but 2, I'm not gonna be satisfied for how I'm feeling just from eating however many donuts I wanted to eat. And then I went back and forth with myself. I was like, well, maybe I can get just 1. Oh God, cat hair. Feline problems, so fun. Okay. Oh my God. Okay, so I was like, maybe I can have just 1, but I know me. If I talk myself into having just 1, by pulling into that drive-thru, I'm gonna cave and get something else and not be satisfied and then be angry with myself. And I finally got to the point where I was like, after 40 minutes of warring with myself in the car, I probably looked like a crazy person on the drive, just but after 40 minutes of warring with myself, I was like, no, I don't need these. I can go home, and the first thing I'm gonna do is have my actual lunch, then have some fruits and veggies if that's not already incorporated, because I think I made pasta, so that wasn't the healthiest. But I wanna go home, have my actual lunch, have some fruits and veggies, and then I can revisit that if I actually want dessert or if I'm just trying to emotionally eat. I did really good for those first 40 minutes. And then it just got overwhelming and I was like, what's the freaking point? I just want to shove it in my face. So if you guys have ever dealt with sugar addiction, this might sound familiar to you. If you haven't, welcome to what my hot mess express is. And I'm really glad that you don't have to deal with that. So I'm driving home and I get overwhelmed. And you guys know that for this journey, I've been trying to be really honest about, where I'm at, what I'm struggling with. And I know that losing 57 pounds over the course of 2.5 years doesn't necessarily sound like a ton. I mean, it's a ton to me, but some of you guys might be like, well, why haven't you lost over 100 pounds in that time? Other people have lost that in 6 months. That's not my journey. I'm trying to do this sustainably. And it's very, very hard, but I'm still trying, and that's the main thing. No matter how many mistakes I make, I'm gonna keep trying to make better choices every single meal and not just push it off and not just cave, even if I have a bad day. And with school, there's a lot of bad days. But I'm almost home, and I'm starting to get overwhelmed again, and I'm starting to get in the mode of, well, just screw it. I'll just feel like crap like I always do if I mess up my diet, which I need to work on that. And then something popped in my head from TikTok, because I've spent a lot of time procrastinating on TikTok lately. Might need an intervention. But sometimes you find a gem. And what I was thinking about is this one particular TikTok, which I don't know what it is, I don't know where it is, but it's stuck in my head. So thank you, random TikToker who I can't remember, you actually did give me helpful advice. But what this person said is basically when you are at your lows regarding your diet or your health or really just life in general, and you are struggling going back and forth with whether or not to make a crappy choice or a good choice, sometimes you kind of have to take a step back and be like, this isn't even about the choice. This is about me choosing to love myself. Excuse me, I'm randomly emotional. Collect myself here. I think when you are on this journey, sometimes that's the hardest part, because you feel like you're not enough, or like you're never gonna meet your goals, or you feel like crap for how fat you got in the first place, you know, whatever it is that you're struggling with. And making that good choice validates the fact that you are worth making that good choice. And sometimes I get in my own head and I feel like I might not be worth that. And that's something that's kind of hard to come to terms with, because I don't normally deal with a lot of self-esteem issues, but I think stuff has been kind of packed down deep with the struggles with my weight my entire life. And so I was like, okay, I might not be strong enough to say I feel great and don't need to binge on like 6 donuts right now, but I might need to choose to love myself. And that is easier said than done. And that's when I was like, okay, I'm gonna call my best friend and tell her what's going on, and the fact that, you know, I'm having some trouble loving myself right now and might need some help talking my way at least past the stinking drive-through. So thank you, Jerry, you're wonderful. Besties for life. I wanted to share that with you guys, partially because it's part of the journey. I know a lot of the videos on here are me explaining what has worked so far, or maybe something that might be a bad idea, but I also want to be open with you guys when I'm struggling and when things kind of suck, because for me lately they suck. I feel like I haven't really consistently gotten sleep and I'm under a lot of stress, which that's a lot of us. But for me, it really does affect how well I can regulate my moods and how good I feel about myself. And I was like, oh, if I'm having trouble choosing to love myself by making good decisions, maybe some other people are struggling with that too. And I just wanted to put that out there for you guys. So I got home, I had my pasta, not in excessive amounts. I had some carrots under protest. Sometimes you just make the choice because you know it's the right one. And I had the stinking carrots. And then I was like, okay, I still feel kind of crappy. So that's me now. Still feeling kind of crappy. I am going to try to choose to love myself and to go make the choice that is getting my steps in, because I am still doing that fundraiser, walking 100 miles in April for St. Jude. So you guys will see an update on that soon. But I passed the halfway point, yay. But I am going to go desperately seeking, not Susan, but endorphins outdoors, choosing to love myself. And I just want to encourage you guys to do the same. Maybe take a second, like that random TikToker said, when you are struggling to make a choice that might be beneficial or harmful to you, take a second and be like, hey, let me choose to love myself and let me choose the choice that goes in line with that. And if you're not strong enough in that particular second, maybe call someone and say, hey, I'm trying to make the choice to love myself. And I know it's this one. Can you help me talk through it?
3 hours later.
So once I got to vent a little bit with you guys, thank you for listening, I actually started feeling a lot better, partially because, you know, release of all that angst. But also, I got to thinking and I was like, okay, yeah, things have been kind of struggly lately, but even though I was having kind of like a crappy day, week, month, whatever the heck, I actually got home without eating Dunkin' Donuts. And I ate my meal when I got home. That cat is so freaking cute. I ate my meal when I got home, and I had my vegetables, and I'm about to go for that walk. It took me a minute, obviously. But I'm like, you know what? It might have sucked, and I might not have had the greatest attitude about it because I was struggling with, like, you know, life. But I freaking did it. And that makes me feel really freaking good. So just know that things will eventually suck less sometimes. Maybe not always, but the moments where you succeed are worth celebrating. Oh my god, look at that cat. He is precious. But the moments you succeed are worth celebrating. I just wanted to add that in there.
So that is what I have for you guys today. I just want to say thank you, and don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you lovely humans next Friday. Hopefully in better spirits, but that is what the endorphin hunting is for. Bye-bye.